Coach, what were you feeling when you heard that alma mater?
You know, that means so much to me. You know, growing up a Cowboy, I'm kind of, it kind of sucks that the last time I got to sing it, it was because we lost. But that's part of the tradition that we have in this program, and it means so much to me to be able to be a part of it and be kind of a foundation for the future.
Jeff, for you, how did you feel when you were out?
It doesn't feel real, honestly. I mean, being there for like the last time and just doing it in this special building is kind of surreal to me right now. So.
Mitch, you mentioned foundation. What do you? I know the season just ended 10 minutes ago, but when you guys think about this year, do you really feel like this is the first of something that Coach Boynton's building here?
Absolutely. Throughout my career, there's been a lot of adversity that this school has faced, and to no fault of their own, the fans have felt a certain way about the program. But I feel like what we've accomplished this year and the obstacles that we've overcome has given people a sense of hope and excitement for the program, and we've built the foundation, and now it's time for the pillars.
Mitch, a question about the game. How much do you think the expanded lane helped them? Because that's where they live offensively. Can you judge that from your time in the ballgame?
I think with how much they drive, they have some elite guys that can drive on the wings, and with the lane, how it spreads out the floor, I think it definitely gave them an advantage. We kind of try and play extended in our defense, and that could have been part of it too. But they're just talented guys that were able to spread the floor.
Jeff, what did you feel was the ultimate difference tonight?
Probably our focus, I think. 'Cause, I mean, at times like this season, we'll be all locked in for 40 minutes, and then at times we'll go through these lulls, and I think that kind of did it for us for probably most of the game, I would say. But
you guys impressed how they seem to answer every single big buck you guys had, they seem to have their own little answer every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of players they have. I mean, people might not have heard about them, but they're every bit of a great team. You know, they have all the pieces. They've got size down low. They've got guys that can shoot it. They've got a lot of guys that can drive the ball. They're just a great team, and they played well tonight.
Jeff, what are your thoughts on Mike's first year?
I'm speechless. I mean, I projected dead last in the Big 12 his first year. I mean, he surpassed all those things that people were saying about him. I mean, he's a great person. I mean, I can't wait to watch him build this program.
Anything else, guys? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
65 days into this thing, huh? What a year. Wow. I'm exhausted. Oh, man, I am extremely proud. I'm very disappointed, certainly, that we lost the game as a competitor. Biggest reason is I'm not going to be able to coach tomorrow. And I have no idea what the heck that means. I guess I need to go recruiting some more. But, man, I really enjoyed this team. Unbelievable group of kids who faced more adversity in, I guess, the last few years for a lot of them than some people do in a lifetime. And so I'm also thankful to their families. Those kids didn't decide to stay here all on their own. There were some conversations amongst some more people that helped make this happen. I do think what we saw tonight, though, this program's okay. This program's in good shape. And not like we're going to start setting the NIT quarterfinal as the bar. But what we thought maybe 362 days ago versus what you saw tonight, I think is a stark difference. There's an extreme amount of optimism for what's going on around here. And it's because of those kids in that locker room. So I'm thankful to them. And 25 years from now, we're going to look back and say that team that team was the reason that this thing got going again. And we're going to build off of what we did this year and continue to get better.
You said last week you felt like you were standing in a building and people were saying the building's on fire. And you're saying, I'm right here, it's not. Did you kind of look around tonight and people actually kind of walked in the building?
Yeah, and not that we haven't had it, a couple times this year. But, yeah, I think, given the circumstances, we're on spring break. We had 11,000 people show up to a weekday game. And that's a big deal because people believe that this program is where they expect it to be. That's the challenge when you have high expectations, and we do. Some people think our fans are unrealistic. I don't. I want to play on the last Monday of the basketball season. That's my goal. I want to coach in the final game of college basketball season. And this team will be the reason that one day we will.
Not to get over dramatic, but there are several of us, I think, that were in the room that were invited the day after you were named, not your press conference, that Saturday morning. And you kind of took a couple of hours to kind of tell us who you were.
Sure. Gave out my cell phone number, the whole
Gave out
deal.
your cell phone.
Absolutely.
Do you think the exhibition that these kids put on, especially throughout this tournament, kind of also was a show of your personality? It seemed like the things you talked that were important to us in that room, your team has displayed that. Is that too much?
I don't know. Robert, I really have to go back and really process it all. It's hard in the moment. There's a lot of thoughts running through my head. First of all, that like Mitchell Solomon is never going to be on my bench again. And the rest of those guys as well. But I'll say this. I believe we have established who we are and what the program will look like as long as I'm the head coach. And that's a blue-collar, hard-working team that even when we're not supposed to be as competitive, and we're going to get really good players here, we're still going to be really competitive. We're still going to give everything we have every single night. And it doesn't matter the opponent because our guys are going to believe in what we do. That doesn't mean we're going to always have success. Obviously, we had some bumps in the road this year that kind of, hurt us. But, I couldn't imagine feeling better about the effort we got this year from a pretty consistent basis. There were some nights I was frustrated, certainly. There's no coach in the country that doesn't have nights like that. Even the ones that are still playing. And I'll go back because I kind of wouldn't be right if I didn't. We lost to a really good team today. And the coach who's been doing this for a long time, they beat Purdue earlier this year. I don't know how many people know that, but Purdue's playing this weekend somewhere and beat SMU. So they got a really good team, and they've themselves dealt with some adversity. So hats off to them for, figuring out a way to travel from L.A. in one day and get ready to come in here and play a game and have success. But back to our program, I think we're in great shape. I think what we've shown this year is the building isn't on fire, like really not. and now people are coming and feel comfortable that, you know what, maybe we have a chance. Maybe we have a chance.
Going off that answer, I know when Mitchell Solomon was just in here, he said that you all have built the foundation now, and now it's time to add the pillars to it. Even though he just played in his last game, what does it mean to have guys like that who have taken on that mentality and can then instill it in the younger players?
Yeah, that's where I get back to just talking about I'm going to be coaching a team 10 years from now, and I'm going to reference this group. I know it right now. It's going to happen because something's going to happen in that season, and there's going to be some adversity, and I'm going to say, I had a group of guys who were told they wouldn't win 5 games. I've got a list of things. I read a lot. I read a lot. I really do. I enjoy reading. But I got a list of things that we were not supposed to do. And a big part of that was me, and I get it. I had no business having this job and couldn't wait till 2 years goes by and someone realizes that I shouldn't have this job. And with that being said, I didn't need anybody to tell me that I had a lot to work against. I'm a competitive person. I didn't want to have success because someone said I couldn't. I want to win because I don't like losing. I work hard because I enjoy what I do. And I really enjoy doing it with these kids. So I'm going to reference this team for years and years and years because they embody that mentality. Pick to finish 10th, doesn't matter. We finished tied for 6th in the best league in the country. And you know, there are basketball people who argue that, you know, the end of the year should have turned out different for us. And we respect that. But, you know, this program is in really good shape because of the kids here and my staff. I mean, I feel like I'm the luckiest coach in the country. I really do. Because I got 2 guys who could coach anywhere in the country sitting on my left and right every single day. And Scott Sutton and John Cooper. And those guys helped me a lot in ways that I didn't even know I needed help. Because as an assistant coach, you don't know things that you don't know. I used to think that the head coach just talked about being busy. I'd always ask my head coach, what's going on? And he'd act like he had, I ain't just talking about Brad, I'm talking about everyone I ever worked for. I thought they always acted like they were busy. And I couldn't figure out, man, what the heck is he really doing all the time that he can't take my phone call for 5 minutes? But I get it now. You know, having sat in that chair and, you know, sometimes the worst place I can be is in my own office because I can't get any work done. But I understand it, and I have a great appreciation for the staff that I have because those guys have been able to take a lot off my plate and help me in so many different ways.
Coach, that alma mater place, I'm sure it's not after a win, but for all these reasons you've just discussed, what are you feeling in that moment?
You know, you just look around and see the pride that people have. It's a big deal. There's some times it's 20-point difference or buzzer beater that people are not leaving until that song is played. I've been at a lot of places. That doesn't happen everywhere. And that's what makes this place really special. That's what gives me great hope for the future because I know our fans love this program. I know they do. Their feelings were hurt, and I understand that. It should have been. I'm a fan. When the Yankees don't do good, I'm a bad person to be around. Ask my wife. I'm glad we're starting to get better again, but it's hard when you see your team struggle and you want it to do better. And so I respect that from our fans. But when we showed them that we're in good shape, they responded and showed up the way we know they're capable of doing so. When I stand up and I look around and I see all those people swaying, and not just standing, they don't just stand and talk. Everybody's at attention singing that song. And I quickly learned the words. Even though this is my alma mater, this is home. This is my school now as well, and I'm glad to be a part of this program.
Coach, I think you're pretty secure with your day job, but there's a lot of folks out there that think you're a pretty good T-shirt designer as well.
I don't take credit for any of that stuff. I mean, I had an idea. I thought it'd be nice to reward our fans for, you know, being here and receiving that message that we're okay. So it was nice to be able to at least say thank you to them. I know this would be, at least we told Mitchell the last couple games we were playing here would be his last home game. But today was it for real. So, but that's all it is. I don't take credit. Somebody on our staff got that done.
Coach, I can see you're clearly emotional. You're getting out of a locker room that's emotional. How do you kind of bottle all of this up, all the emotions of this 365-day journey for you, and try to take it into selling the passion of the program and making sure that it elevates from here?
That's the challenge. I already told the guys returning next year that next year is going to be much harder than this year. Now, I certainly don't think we can face as many different obstacles as we faced this year. But now, people expect us to be competitive again. And what do you do when you're expected to have success? Not that it's easy when people don't expect you to have success, but when you got to perform when people think you should, it's a different ball game. But I've already been on the phone with a couple people who will be helping us in the future, and certainly look forward to getting out and getting that message to people who we think can continue to help us in recruiting, build this program. But we're on the right guys. That's what it's about. You got to have good talent. And, there were times this year we didn't have quite as much talent. We still were able to compete. But we'll get better talent, and we'll be even more competitive, and we'll have more success.
And I know you mentioned how looked like it might have been Mitchell's last game before, and then it wasn't, and then now it finally is those guys' last game. What is it like? Just what emotions are going through your mind as it's your first season as head coach, and you're sending off your first class of seniors in Mitchell, Jeffrey, Kendall?
Well, it's tricky. You don't think about it being over, and then it's over. I coached literally to win the game until I wanted to at least give those guys when it was clear we weren't going to win. So that's the first time you even think about it. And so you don't have a whole lot of time to process how you deal with it. But I told those guys, those kids, I don't know how everybody does it. Those kids have me for life, whether they want me or not, whether they need me or not. But there won't be a single time that any of those kids need something they won't be able to call and ask for my help. And I won't do everything in my power to make sure that they at least get where they need to go. And that's what this is about. Those kids did unbelievable work for me. I didn't do anything for them. They did this for me. I didn't make a basket or grab a rebound or make a pass or anything like that. So just understanding how much effort it takes to have success at this level against the type of competition we face on a night-in and night-out basis makes you appreciate even more how a guy like Mitchell Solomon, who probably played the last, 10, 12 games at maximum 75%, but still be able to make the type of plays that he made because he cares. When you have people who care with good character, a lot of great things can happen, and that's what we were fortunate to have this year.
Mike, as you guys have built the foundation this year, having stability when you talk about 10 years down the line, 25 years down the line, part of that is the coaching staff, which has been in total flux in the last couple of years. Will you be talking to Coach Holder about potentially extending you, staff? Is that a conversation you'll have or have started to have to try to continue to have that kind of stability?
Yeah, staff continuity is probably one of the most important things to me as a head coach. I cannot do this job without a good staff. Can't. Even with really good players, I can't do this job without a really good staff. And so it's really important to me that those guys know how valued they are. This isn't about me. It really isn't. And I'm not even into having those type of conversations at this point because it's not necessary. It really isn't. I'll say this, and I may be speaking out of turn. The person who saw this before anybody else was Mike Holder. Some people won't like that, but he saw something that no one else saw before anybody else saw it. And I'm not saying that we've got it all figured out and we're going to win a national championship next year. But, again, when this happened, the reaction was, oh, boy, this is a disaster. This is not going to go well. And in a couple of years, we're going to be in a much worse place than we are right now. And clearly, that's not the case. He was the visionary of that. There wasn't another athletic director in the country that would have given me this opportunity. So it means a lot to me.
So it sounds like you trust in him, that this will, whatever the next move is going to be handled?
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Talked about the future, but just straight up, given what happened last year, you do plan on being back next year?
Wow.
Well, last season, we thought almost the same thing.
I don't know how to answer that question. I have not talked to anybody else about a job. I'll say that. Mike Holder is the guy who gave me this opportunity, and the board and the committee who hired me. At 35 years old, means a lot to me. Means a lot to me. My family's very happy here, and this doesn't happen without them.
Coach,
I do appreciate the question, though. I get it.
Coach, as far as the game actually concerned, how big a moment was it when Forrest found out that play, having the ball to down 2 more points, man, the ball, and so.
Yeah, there were a lot of funky things that happened in the game. Most of it was they're really good, and we couldn't figure it out defensively. But I know, again, conventional wisdom says, you guys struggled against the zone again, and we did. We didn't get the quality of shots that I would have liked. We didn't play with the same type of rhythm because they did change their defense a lot. But we did score 84 points, and that should be enough at home. Should be. We just couldn't get the job done on the defensive end. And then we did shoot ourselves in the foot a few times at the free throw line, and we took maybe a couple quick threes unnecessarily when we had opportunities to drive. But again, hats off to them. I mean, they made us not play as well. We didn't just not play well because we didn't want to. Western Kentucky had a lot to do with that.
Mike, no excuses, but because of the experimental rules, the expanded lane, that helps them the way they play, doesn't it?
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, I mean, a little bit because, they can space the floor a little bit better. And they got some really dynamic playmakers. But we play with the same, we play with the same lane, It
looked like you guys took better advantage of it this game, especially maybe after what they saw Western was doing the first quarter, the rest of this game.
Yeah, we made some adjustments. And again, I don't think, it's hard to say, when we didn't shoot a great percentage that we played well offensively, but sometimes shots don't go in. I mean, our defense is what cost us today. We didn't have the discipline defensively to get key stops. I mean, we gave up a wide open dunk to their big guy. I don't know what the score was at the exact time, but I remember it vividly. And that's the only shot he can make. And he didn't have to work at all for it. We gave up a 3 in the corner. It was just a couple plays. And, again, I hate talking about specific plays because it's all foggy in my mind at the moment until I watch it. But I remember specifically some plays defensively where we had an opportunity to maybe put some real pressure on them and then capitalize on offense, and we just didn't do it.
They had an inbounds alley-oop that normally he wouldn't have gotten it.
Absolutely.
For the last game, Kimberly mentioned how it was so important to lock down on defense for this game, but when you have a player like Hollingsworth who goes out there and really goes on a scoring run like that, how difficult is it to try to motivate the defense to solve it?
Yeah, I think part of the lesson there is there are really good players everywhere. I watched that kid on film. I was like, man, he's good. I watched him live the other night after our game, and I was like, man, he controlled that game the other day as well. And Johnson's good. They got a lot of really good pieces, and we just couldn't figure out a way to slow him down. He got where he wanted, and that's what really good players do. That's what really good players do. They make it hard for you to stop them.
The "Let's work" mantra, was that kind of a theme for this season, or is that moving forward as well?
Man, it's not really a mantra. It became a cute, nice little slogan. Work is a part of that. That's kind of what we do here. The other part is let's. It's us, all of us. I do remember vividly at my press conference almost a year ago saying, to do what we want to do, it takes everybody. Really good players, really good coaches, tremendous administrative support, community involvement, but our fans too. We need our fans. There's no question about it. And so the let's is let us, all of us, everybody who cares about Oklahoma State, get on board. All right, we're heading in the right direction. I think we see that there's still potential for this program to be really competitive, certainly in the Big 12, and if you're competitive in the Big 12, you're competitive nationally, and that we can get back to this being a normal night in Gallagher again.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate all you this year, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Safe travels.